Hi, it's Danielle. This is my perfume journal where I document my love of perfume. So, YouTube tells me that most of my audience here are fellow Gen Xers and some elder millennials. Hello, hi, nice to see you. Glad you're here. But even as a card carrying AARP member, I do spend enough time online to have a general awareness of trends and stuff, mostly so that my 21-year-old nephew continues to think that I am the cool aunt. You may have seen the tier maker app that lets you rank things, anything from like coffee brands to Pokemon to perfumes. There's like S tier, which is beyond my age bracket to understand what that even means, A tier, B tier, and so on. So I watch the absolutely hilarious PL Smells here on YouTube. I am so glad that he came over here from TikTok for olds like me who do not have TikTok. He even makes my often cynical and sometimes cantankerous self actually laugh out loud, or LOL, as my generation would say. And I love PL's ranking videos. They are so funny. You will definitely have to lock in your sense of humor before you watch them because he wittily drags perfumes, maybe your favorite perfumes, but like in the most loving way. So I thought it would be fun to make one of these videos myself. So first, I gaslighted myself into thinking that I could understand this tier making website, which I couldn't. So instead of fighting with technology, I did what any respectable Gen Xer would do and made more work for myself. And so I made my own in Microsoft Paint. No, I'm just kidding. I used Canva. So because we have just wrapped up June and we are at the exact midway point of 2026, I am going to rank all of the perfumes released in 2026 that I have smelled and I can remember. But I'm going to do it Gen X style. So you've got to put on your peg jeans and turn your Forenza sweater around backwards because we're going back to the 80s for this one. So these will be our ranking categories from best to worst. So first up, tubular. Tubular was the term reserved for something exceptional, something of impeccable quality or awesomeness. Tubular perfumes are going to be the best. So next we have the perfumes that are rad. Rad is short for radical. If something was rad, it was better than average, but not quite tubular. In the middle here, we have gnarly and righteous. So gnarly was actually a term of endearment. It sounds like it wouldn't be, but trust me, it is. Gnarly is just above average, and for us, the term for average would be what's right below it, which is righteous. Righteous is basically good. To express our displeasure, we would use the term grody, and to enhance that displeasure, we may add the suffix to the max. So grody to the max. Some perfumes today are going to be grody perfumes, and some will even be grody to the max. And finally, the worst of the worst in the tier, gag me with a spoon. The term of all Valley girls that made its way through my entire generation like wildfire and became the phrase of the decade. We are not wearing perfumes that gag us with a spoon. Any questions about the terminology? Please feel free to disagree with my tiers in the comments. We Gen Xers are very opinionated, and so I very much welcome hearing your opinions below. On to the perfumes. So first up, we have Power of You from Emporio Armani. This was the first hype release of 2026 that I can recall, and it is a passion fruit vanilla perfume, and I think I'm going to have to put this one as grody. I did not like this. I thought the passion fruit and vanilla were at odds with each other, much like Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence in The Karate Kid. Moving on, we have Libre Berry Crush. Now, you would not think that berries and coconut would go well with lavender and orange blossom, but they do. I liked it. This is a righteous dude. Next is For Her Musc Blanc from Narciso Rodriguez. I love a clean laundry scent. I love aldehydes. I love oak moss, and I love the Narciso musk. This is a step up from the original Musk for Her, which is already pretty clean smelling. This is basically Musk for Her made by the Snuggle fabric softener bear. This one is pretty gnarly. Next, we have Orpheon EDT from Diptyque. This one is totally tubular. They have taken that fantastic jazz club vibe of the EDP of Orpheon the long polished wood bar, the spilled gin martinis, the garnish of ginger, and the citrus fruits. They've taken all of that out of the smoky back room and moved it all into the lighter, more modern music hall. It is beautiful. Okay, Un Jardin sous la mer from Hermes. Now, I fear that the marine aspects of this one could definitely take it to grody land, or maybe even grody to the max. But my first impression of this is that it is a nice, fresh aquatic with an Hermes twist. So this one is righteous. Next is Metal Lavender from Matiere Premiere. This is pretty righteous. This is a cold, steely lavender, so cold it kind of feels like outer space, and none of the tarry aroma chemicals in this one. So yeah, this one is righteous. So next is Donna, born in Roma, Purple Melancholia. This gagged me with a spoon. This just smelled like cough syrup on me. I did not like this. Definitely gagged me with a spoon. Okay, next we have Taormina Orange from Tom Ford. So the smell of this is righteous. It is a nice, fresh, sunny Sicilian orange, like the perfect balance of pulp and rind, but the price point is grody to the max. Infusion de Santal Chai from Prada. This is so tubular. It is dry chai spices and creamy sandalwood with that airiness you get from the entire Infusion line. I love this perfume. Love Hibiscus from Amouage. This one is grody. This is probably grody to the max. I usually love Jerome Epinette, but I think he was just a little too heavy-handed for this one. But it's just a little too much of everything. Too much hibiscus, too much caramel. This feels like you have just walked into a Yankee candle shop and they have lit up every single candle in the room. Okay, Shalimar Millésime Rose. This is rad. This is actually radical. It is almondy, powdered roses, and incense, and the original Shalimar DNA is all in there. It's beautiful. Lumière d'Issey from Issey Miyake. So I love this crystal pillowcase bottle, and the perfume is just a really nice, light, sweet, fresh floral. This is like the perfume that Samantha Baker from 16 Candles would be wearing today in her adult life. So this one is righteous. Banana Rush from J-Hag. This one gagged me with all the spoons. This is definitely the worst perfume that I have smelled this year so far. I cannot tolerate maple in a perfume, and then it has this like mashed overripe banana note and all of the tarry aroma chemicals. So nothing about this perfume agreed with me whatsoever. J'adore Intense from Dior. Right now, this is so radical, but I can see this one creeping into tubular territory. This smells like what J'adore would have been if it had been created in the 80s. It is deep yellow florals and roses and vanilla and stone fruits. I think this is a beautiful J'adore. Lovebird from Zoologist. This is pretty gnarly. I only sniffed this once and only on a blotter, but it seemed to be a really nice, very green, fruity floral. It actually smelled like the colors of a lovebird. Really well done. You Sois from Glossier. This was grody. This did not smell like silk at all. It did not smell or feel silky. It actually smelled kind of mildewy to me, and I think it may have been the rice milk. Can rice milk like go sour? I'm not sure, but if it can, that is what this perfume unfortunately smelled like. Angel Blush. This was another unfortunately grody one for me. I was disappointed after the release of the wonderful Angel Stellar. I was hoping for something more like that, but like an almondy version. But this one just ended up feeling like a little bit too anemic of an angel for me. Kayali's duo of Eden Sweet Peach and Plush Pear. So Plush Pear was gnarly. I like that one. I love a pear note, and this one felt like it was in the family of perfumes like Prada Paradox, a really nice, sweet, fruity, musky floral. Now, Sweet Peach, righteous. I don't think peach is my note. It wasn't a bad perfume, but it wasn't for me. Okay, Green Tea Strawberry Basil. That was grody. Grody to the max. I love the original green tea. It's just so perfectly refreshing and simple and effective. And I also love a whole bunch of the flankers, but this one was not giving. Well, it was giving. It was giving it was giving synthetic strawberries and basil flavoring rather than a nice muddled fresh strawberry and basil leaf in a cold glass of green tea, which is what I was really hoping for. The Gucci Bloom flanker Ambrosia Doro was pretty gnarly. Not all the way rad, but also not grody. This was an interesting note list actually to look at on Parfumo. It's like Firmenich Captive Salad. I know I always say I would like to have the job of naming scents for Bath and Body Works or writing copy for perfume brands, but now I'm going to add to my dream job list naming captive materials for big fragrance houses. So this perfume includes Clearwood Prisma, Poison Charmer Nature Print, Golden Globe Nature Print, Ambrox Super, and Romandolide. And so this perfume really makes me think about the future of perfumery with all of these restrictions that we're seeing on naturals that keep creeping up. I wonder if this is what note pyramids are going to look like in 10, 15, 20 years. The only non-captive notes on this pyramid are ginger, tuberose, jasmine, Rangoon, Creeper, Cypriol, and Patchouli. And if you have smelled this perfume, you will know that it does not smell like that note list of naturals at all. Not that a note list ever really tells the whole story. This is a sweet, creamy, woody floral. It's very pretty, it's very golden smelling, and very, very nice. But yes, Bloom Ambrosia Doro is gnarly. Honeymoon from Fleur. This one was grody for me. I was mostly anosmic to this perfume. I sprayed it on a blotter and I could not smell anything. Maybe some faint synthetic musks, but definitely not any honey. Next is L'Interdit Narcisse Blanc. This is tubular to the max. I loved trying this one so much. On a bed of all the white florals you would normally associate with L'Interdit, jasmine and orange blossom and tuberose, you have this fizzy ginger and blood orange spritzer. You have a cushion of moss, you have some dry vetiver, and then that yellowish green, almost like vase watery quality of the narcissus. It is a fantastic perfume and one that I am definitely going to seek out in a nice decant or partial this year. From the new trio of florals for Laboratorio Olfativo by Jean-Claude Ellena, we have the super rad carnation perfume called Incarnation. It's a softer, less spicy, musky take on that usually very clovey floral note. And then you have Jasminade and Rose Me Twice, both of which I would categorize as gnarly perfumes. They're soft, they're watercolored, they're very typical of Jean-Claude Ellena, just letting the beauty of the flowers come through. Musc Pallida from Hermes. This was a totally tubular release. Hermes has taken the original Essence de Parfum and released it as an EDP. This is very simply iris and musk. It's a little bit powdery, a little bit rooty, and a tiny, tiny bit sweaty. It is so Hermes coated, and it is spectacular. Flower Glyph from Lys. So my first impression of this one was, this is weird. The notes are blueberry, ink, mirabelle plum, honeysuckle, jasmine, and pollen. And I actually had to look up what they were trying to go for here, and I was actually really surprised to see that this was a Jean-Claude Ellena creation. Now, to be fair to this genius of a perfumer, I only sprayed this once on a blotter, so this is a really, really cursory reaction to this perfume. I was just feeling kind of confused about what this was. I sort of got the inkiness and the berry and the hazy pollen feeling, but it all felt kind of disjointed and odd. But I have said before that this kind of perfume, the kind that confuses me, is one that I often really like to try again, to study and think about and write about. So I'm probably going to get a sample of this one and give it another whirl. But for right now, unfortunately, I have to put this one in grody. And I'm hoping after I try it again, maybe it'll move into the righteous category just because I love Jean-Claude Ellena so, so much. And finally, we have Crush Me from Michela Mazzetti. Finally, a cherry perfume that I liked. This is soft and airy cherry with lipstick and cocoa and narcissus notes. And so the overall effect is like a cosmetic gourmand, which, yes, please, can we have more cosmetic gourmands? This is super fun and flirty and easy to like, and I definitely want more of it. And this one goes in the category of rad. So I have definitely smelled other releases from 2026, but these are the ones I either wrote notes about, have given a wear test to, or remembered enough about to put them in the rankings. So please tell me which perfumes you have tried from this year. Where would you rank them? I would be really, really interested to hear your opinions on some of these scents or other scents you've tried from 2026. Thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun making this video. I hope you had fun watching. Thank you for spending your time here with me, and thanks for chatting perfumes with me in the comments. I hope you have a rad day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.